About an hour's drive west from the IMF meetings on Bali is Canggu village. It's where entrepreneur David Abraham runs a co-working space.
We now have 3 locations, 2 here in Bali and 1 in Cambodia.
Abraham is one of a growing number of players in what's becoming a booming business worldwide. According to one study conducted by Emergent Research, as many as 1.5 million so-called digital nomads use spaces like this to work. That number is projected to grow more than threefold by 2023, and Bali is one of their top destinations.
It's like really a magical island, and it's also very cheap, of course, which makes it really easy to live here.
It's hard to say just how many digital nomads there are in Bali because authorities don't compile those sorts of statistics. But it's estimated there are thousands among the many visitors who come to take advantage of the lifestyle the island has to offer.
It's a new version of the hospitality industry, and Bali is well known for its hospitality roots.
By definition, digital nomads are people who rely on the internet to work remotely, but many of them are here to develop new online products and services.
And so what we think we can do is really serve as part of that fertilizer that can help really grow either foreign ideas that could come here or local business ideas.
One challenge for many digital nomads who come here is that they can only get a 30-day tourist visa. Some countries now offer special visa programs to attract digital nomads, but Indonesia isn't one of them.
You hear about people doing visa runs. They fly over to like Singapore and fly back at the same day just to get like their visa renewed. This is probably the biggest disadvantage for Bali itself, or for Indonesia, I would say.
But it's unlikely to put off many who still want to come and live life on their laptops in tropical bliss. Patrick Fong, TRT World, Bali.
And Patrick spoke to the director of the World Development Report, Federica Saliola, about how technology is already changing the skills we need as it continues to disrupt labour markets.
Technology is changing jobs in a very fast way. And oftentimes, new jobs are a combination of old jobs with new technological tools. So we don't also see this demand for skills being black or white. We see oftentimes a combination. Imagine the job of a marketing analyst that is asked to write algorithms, or think about the job of app developers. Now there are 4 million of these kind of jobs in India, and they just came out overnight. So more and more people are required to be adaptable, work on the skills that are not easily replicable by robots, but adaptability, transferability, lifelong learning are very important elements as well that will allow us to adapt.
Well, it's not just the type of jobs that are changing, but also the way that we work. And one of the big themes in the future workplace is the gig economy. What are the key challenges for businesses and industries?
Those freelancers still represent less than 3% of the global workforce. So we see a strong trend, but still they represent a low share of the workforce. Now, clearly firms have to benefit from that. In fact, what we see is that through these digital technologies, firms can really grow from startup to becoming a global force. And we have many examples about that. In the report, we compare the history of IKEA, a global firm, very important, with the history of Alibaba, a Chinese global platform. So for IKEA was founded in 1943, and it took 30 years to expand to other countries. And then it took 70 years, to reach a volume of 4 billion, users. Now, for Alibaba, if you look at the history, in 15 years, they reached a volume of sales of $700 billion. They have 9 million users. So they grew exponentially. And why? Because digital technologies change the way of doing business, change the way firms operate. So the physical presence is no longer a prerequisite.
What are the key difficulties in reskilling and retraining the existing labour market?
When we think about how adults' brains learn, it's not how teenager brains learn. So we need to adapt to how people learn when they are in their 40s or 50s. So, people learn by practice. It's very hard to sit down in a classroom and stay there for 10 hours.